What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we've got more Battles of Chaos reveals, or BOC. So today we have a new Magnet Warrior, and it's level 4. Woo! I'm actually so pumped. My childish noises aside, I'm actually really pumped for this. You guys know how much I talk about Magnet Warriors and how wrong they have been, and I'm very glad that pretty much within the span of 12 months, we've gotten 2 solid support cards for them. We'll get into that. We also have a new ABC card, very interesting as well. We'll get to that in a sec, but of course we have to do a new skilled magician. If you guys don't remember, there's like skilled white magician, skilled dark magician, and skilled blue magician. I actually think there's skilled red magician as well at this point. But like they all help. Like one of them helps summon Buster Blader, one of them helps summon Dark Magician, and so on and so forth. Some of those like classics, you know, monsters. And so this one kind of falls in line with that, and but does it a little bit more 2021-ish. So let's get into it. Here we go. We have skilled Chestnut Magician. By the way, I love his artwork. He looks super cool. I love that he's like kind of a child, but like still looks kind of clean. His staff looks fucking dope. Anyway, skilled Chestnut Magician, a level 4 dark spellcaster effect monster with 300 attack and 200 defense. If that doesn't tell you what we're looking at here, then I don't know what will. You can only use a second effect once per turn. The first effect reads, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. Okay, maximum 3. You can remove 1 spell counter from this card to activate one of these 2 effects. The first one says, increase this card's level by 1. Also, it gains 1500 attack. Okay, whatever, goes to level 5, goes to 1800 attack, whatever, it's a beater, whoop-de-doo. It is permanent though, so I guess if you do that turn after turn, you will be 3300 attack pretty quick. Well, not pretty quick, decently quick. And we have, the second effect says, add 1 Kuriboh monster or multiply from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now that is what I'm most interested in here by far and away, is actually getting our hands on any Kuriboh monster or a multiply. Multiply is actually kind of insane. I think it just says like tribute a Kuriboh on your field, and if you do, summon like as many possible Kuriboh tokens as you can, and the only restriction is they can't be tributed for a tribute summon. So you get to span the board like so much. You get a ton of link material. That's an easy Appaloosa, that's an easy IP Masquerena, whatever you want to go into from generic stuff at that point, that card will facilitate. So that's really good. I love that because I'm not sure multiply was ever searchable before. Maybe it is. I don't know off the top of my head, but this definitely seems like an easier way to do it than before. And Kuriboh monsters. I mean, we're getting all the new Kuriboh support in Animation Chronicle. I actually think this deck does some pretty interesting things. Is it broken? Is it really good? Probably not. But it actually does things now, which I'm happy about. That's all I want. Is like we see these cards like Kuriboh, and like yes, technically it's an archetype, but it didn't do anything for the longest time, and now it actually feels like it actually does things. That like, yeah, it could steal some duels off of some decent decks. Hell yeah. So I'm with it. Rhoda for Kuribohs, or Stratos for Kuribohs. Pretty cool. Also, you have to love that it's every turn, right? There are Stratos monsters that trigger on summon, so you do have to recurringly summon them every turn. This guy's just, if you just summon him and don't like, and you leave him up, if your opponent doesn't remove this card, you just have another free search for next turn. I like that as well. All right, then for our other cards, we have ourselves Epsilon, the Magnet Warrior, and XYZ combine. So let's start with Magnet Warrior Epsilon. I love his design, by the way. He almost looks like a bug, like a bee or a wasp, but with but magnets. Anyway, he's a level 4 Earth Rock monster. He's 1300 attack, he's 1500 defense. Fine, everything we can expect from that. His effect is a hard once per turn. The first effect reads, or his only effect reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 level 4 lore Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard, except for himself. His name becomes the same as that sent monster's until the end phase. Then you can special summon 1 Magnet Warrior monster or Magna Warrior monster that does not share a name with any card you control from your graveyard. I just want to go ahead and throw this out there immediately. This card's really strong. This card's really strong, I think, for Magnet Warrior. I mean, like, listen, it's Magnet Warriors, right? So temper your expectations. They don't really have a win condition yet, still. But as far as what this card is, in a vacuum, it's essentially Tour Guide with more upside, I think, right? So it Foolish Burials any monster. and then it summons anything from grave with a different name from a monster you control. So technically you can't send a monster and then summon that same monster because he does copy the name. So if you send Alpha, he becomes Alpha, and that means you can't reborn a monster with the same name that's already in the field. So you cannot reborn Alpha. So all you need is, well, okay. So I say it's really strong. It's not necessarily Tour Guide. It needs the slightest setup in the sense that you need any Magnet Warrior monster in grave and you are good to go. But this is pretty good. I think this becomes the new best target off of all of the Magnet Warriors' quick effects on the opponent's turn. All the Electromagnet Warriors say, quick effect, tribute this card on the opponent's turn to summon a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from the deck. Or actually a level 4 specifically Magnet Warrior from the deck. So you summon this guy, he sends any other Magnet Warrior from deck to grave, and then he summons one back. And why that's so good is because it allows you to maybe summon an Alpha, Beta, or Gamma Electromagnet Warrior that's already in grave back to one, trigger their effect to either search, or special from hand, or just to get them on field so that they have their quick effect. If they weren't the one that used their quick effect and there was another one in grave, you summon that one, and now that one's got the quick effect to go Delta, get another dump, and like continue your resource rotation, because that's what we really want to see. Now, we still don't have a payoff. I really hope we get a payoff. We're getting some solid engine cards. This guy's awesome. The other spell we got in Ghost from the Past is actually good. And I just hope they keep moving on with this. This is 2 cards in the past year. I love this archetype. I really think it deserves to get some good stuff. It just needs a win condition. And maybe a level 4 that pops a card when it's summoned from a rock monster's effect or something. I don't know. That would be really cool as well. But anyway, very cool. Love that. So phenomenal card for Kuribohs. Phenomenal card for Magnet Warriors. Let's take a look at the XYZ combine. This is a continuous spell. You can only activate both of its effects once per turn each. The first effect reads, if a light machine union monster card in your possession is banished, you can special summon one X head cannon, Y dragon head, or Z metal tank from your deck. Second effect, you can return one fusion monster you control to the extra deck as cost to special summon up to 2 monsters with different names among your banished XYZ or X dragon head or X head cannon, Y dragon head, or Z metal tank. Sorry. Fucking screwed that up. Anyway, this card kind of stinks. I mean, like, listen, I get it. This was an attempt to make ABC's part of like the ABC deck, or XYZ's part of the ABC deck, because once they made the retrain with the XYZs or with the ABCs, they just outclassed the XYZs, and so maybe Konami just feels like they want to try and get it in there, and maybe it's just an anime card and we shouldn't read too much into it. It's cool. It's fine. ABCs are the new something. I mean, they're still decent even to this day. But the XYZs are not that great. But I get it. They wanted to try and make it part of that lore, fit in a little bit more there. So I guess if you want to play a more anime style deck that still does things, this card can help you make those XYZ cards a little bit more fluid with the deck. But that's everything we have here for today. Just a quick note, don't forget the live stream for all those reveals is going to be out, or is starting, I believe, at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US. So we will get those very early. I figured we might get 10 to 15 cards. I could have lumped these in with those, but I figured that video would just be too much. So I'm just going to break them up into 2. Also should have another deck profile coming out either tonight or tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. It's a really cool one. I'm very excited for it. And of course, more to come, especially with like Megaton prices dropping. I am all about, scooping that shiz and getting some deck profiles I couldn't do for a while due to budgetary reasons. So that's it for me here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all Yu-Gi-Oh card reveals. I review that shiz when it drops, and other stuff as well. Deck profiles, potentially more vlogs, and I don't know. Whatever. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace.